I've never had to do any kind of vocabulary with the military.
So could you say like
Spanish for
servir a piatas país?
serve your country? I mean, I guess you would. I think even if it's not the word you would normally use, people would understand. Alright, so we got servir is an E to I stem changer. What's after servir?
Freír.
Freír. Repitan. Freír.
Freír.
It's an E to I stem changer.
At
This
least
one
they're all
is
the same.
exceptionally confusing because notice,
The E.
we have E and an I together.
So it's gonna be like free.
Right, you're gonna end up with the E changes to an I, and then you got kind of the ER ending in the present tense, so like they switch places. And you got accents.
I'd love to see that conjugated.
Yeah.
We'll get to accents in past tense.
On irregular. It's already irregular.
Is this gonna be like kind of
Stem change doesn't count as irregular.
Is this test gonna be our midterm, or are we gonna actually take?
We're not gonna get through this chapter, we're gonna only have vocab and then plus all grammar that we've learned.
So we're not having a midterm?
No, you have some.
But this test won't be till
Yes,
after.
right.
But
Your actual chapter test isn't gonna be until after we come back in January.
Oh,
But this vocab and stuff will be on your midterm.
alright, let's
Alright, so what's after Freír? Or actually, before Freír, I want you to add two other verbs. They have nothing to do with food service, but they conjugate just like Freír. So I want you to add them now, because when we get to conjugations for this chapter, we'll use both of these verbs. Okay, one of them is reír. Anybody know what that is?
Like right now.
That's so different.
To make it
It's to laugh.
To make
To laugh.
Yes.
Someone in the other class knew it, I'm not sure.
It's to laugh.
Reír is to laugh. Okay? And then the other one I want you to add is sonreír.
To not laugh.
To cry.
It's to laugh.
It actually, that word's actually on
Is it
my
one
door.
or two words?
It's one word, sonreír.
What's it about?
It's a sonrían y entran.
Where's that?
Smile and enter. So sonreír is to smile.
Enter if you.
There's reír is to laugh, sonreír is to smile.
So when people use the command smile.
Yeah.
Sonreír.
It'd be sonría.
Sonria.
Yeah.
Why sonria?
Because it's a command.
We'll learn command.
We're learning commands next year.
They're really easy.
I wanna
would
learn
say
commands
just
now.
Most of them, not all of them are like that though. Alright, so what's after Freír? Back to our list.
Repetier.
Repetir.
What do they say? Because we say cheese.
Someone that went to Spain last year, or over the summer, said that, the people that they met said, patatas.
Potatoes.
Yeah, that's what they
That's
said
so
instead of
cute.
queso.
I would say
Queso
that.
for cake.
Potatoes.
Alright, so we got repetir. ¿Qué significa repetir?
To repeat, to take seconds.
To repeat, okay? So literally to repeat, but when it comes to this vocabulary, it's gonna be mainly used as
Order again.
to get seconds, okay, to get seconds. So make sure you have that as a definition as well.
I've
Okay,
never
so-
gotten seconds at a restaurant. Like, unless
Was
it's like a
that
buffet.
Yeah, that's what, that'd be the main reason.
But like to order again. never done
You're
that.
gonna get another drink.
Yeah, you could get seconds of your drink.
Yeah.
Alright, and once again,
Reservoir. Reservoir.
read a I stem changer.
Oh, I need to start paying attention.
Oh, maybe.
Guys, make sure you mark your stem changer so you know ahead of time. Alright, so repetir is an E-I stem changer. Remember, your stem change happens to the one closest to the end, so it's this E. Okay, and you guys have heard me say that, because I'll say repitan. Okay, that's the E change into an I. Alright, so we got repetir. What's after repetir?
Reservoir.
Reservoir, and that's obviously
To reserve.
reserve, and it's a regular verb.
No.
You're
Okay.
a freak, Jared.
The weird one.
I mean, you're a
right.
very smart freak.
That didn't change the fact that you're so free.
Thank you,
Say
Erica,
you're
for the
sorry.
compliment.
You're freakishly smart.
She's really not happy.
That's a compliment.
Alright, what's after reservoir?
Tener hombre.
Alright, so these expressions, Silencio, we talked about when we learned the verb tener. So there's tener hombre and there's tener,
What does hombre have to
Said.
do with
Said.
savior?
Okay, so what's tener hombre mean?
Be
Be
hungry.
hungry. Why wouldn't you use a star or say or like?
Because you don't
You
say
have
you
hunger.
are hungry, you say you have hunger, because hunger
Why?
is a feeling.
Why isn't anything close to Bonaire and Bay Bear? Those are not close to that at all.
But eat and hungry are not close at all in English.
No,
Yeah.
but she's talking about.
She can close the eyes.
Oh.
And she was trying to relate the words together, but in English we don't do that either. Alright, so tener hombre, make sure you pronounce it correctly. Repeat that. Tener hombre.
Tener hombre.
Okay, because if you don't pronounce it right, hombre is man. So that would be like to have a man. Okay, that changes the meaning a lot. And then hombro are shoulders. So,
I got
yeah, all three of those are kind of.
That's my feeling.
Alright, and then tener sed is to be thirsty. Okay. So that's it on our restaurant activities. Moving on to foods.
Wait, what about said?
Tener sed is to be thirsty.
Oh, yeah. I didn't say that.
Alright, what I decided to do, since there's so much vocabulary that you need to know, I copied the page out of your textbook for you. And we will go through these, and you can just write right on your paper what their meanings are. Okay, so that way you have it handy if you
Wait,
don't
we
have your
can have
vocab
that
stuff.
paper, that paper's ours?
It's yours.
The paper is hard. Is that hard? Is it like?
For you, just for you, no one else.
Good. Well, here's my brother.
Miss Kelly, I like you a lot better than you.
I think so. It's because you guys are finally getting it and you know what to expect.
I thought you were being personalized last year.
Minus one always.
Kind of.
Yeah, this
Last
one, people
year-
act like I'm this horrible teacher.
Last year, you were like the teacher that everybody hated.
Now it's Miss Harpeth.
Now you're one of my favorite teachers. It takes a while to get used to.
Hey, I have That's your fault.
I know.
Alright,
I'm alright
So-
with her. It's just Miss Harper.
back to our vocabulary. Okay, we're gonna start off with the words on here. We're gonna go over those first, and then we'll jump back to the old vocab to kind of fill in the blanks. Alright, so what's our first category on this current list of foods? Carne. Okay, we've got meat. Okay, and you guys know carne, related to carnivore, meat eater, easy. Carnival has nothing to do with it. Alright, so we got carne. So carne in general is meat. What specifically carne de res? Beef. Okay, now, carne de res is beef, generally referring to like ground beef, like what you make hamburgers and stuff out of. So you might want to make a note of that. So carne de res is ground beef. Whereas the other word that means beef is beefsteak, and that's referring to steak. Okay, so they're both beef, but they have different words for like different
So like
styles
that
of
would be
cut.
our cinnamon thing, synonym.
Yeah, they would be matching synonyms, but they are slightly different. So you got beef, as in like ground beef, and then beefsteak as in steak. What's the other word for steak? Instead of beefsteak, it's
Beefsteak.
okay. So you might want to write that down. There's two different spellings of steak, beefsteak and beefsteak. All right, what's after beefsteak?
Ternera.
Ternera. Okay, this is another form of beef, but what is ternera?
Veal.
Veal. Okay, who does not know what veal is? All right, so let's discuss it quickly. Veal is baby cow. It's calf. Okay. What they do is, as soon as the calf is born, they either put it in a small cage or they tie it up so it can't move around, because then it doesn't get really big muscles and it ends up being really tender.
Yeah, that's why it looks like tender.
Right, yeah. So that's what veal is. I know a lot of people are morally opposed to veal, so usually I won't put this on like a vocab quiz or something like that, because some people really are opposed to it, so.
Do they fry it or something?
Offend anyone.
I won't eat veal.
It is not the circle of life. They don't have a life.
It's mainly the cruelty of sticking it in a little tiny cage and not letting it move around. That's what the
Doesn't even get to
Why don't
the
you just tranquilize?
begin of life. That's
They don't have
sad.
to-
Yeah, it doesn't, yeah, guys, it doesn't matter if you disagree or you agree with veal, that's the word, I'm just telling you what it is. Alright, yeah, it's supposed to be really tender. Alright, so ternera is veal. What's after ternera?
Cerdo.
Cerdo. Okay, what's cerdo?
Pig.
Pork.
Pork.
Pork. Okay, so cerdo's pork. So you use this when you want to talk about like pork chops,
What about bacon?
but there's individual types of pork, like different pig products. That's what I'm
Pork
trying to
chop,
say.
ham.
Okay, so ham, you guys should know from last year, what's ham?
Hamon.
Hamon, and that's on your other vocab list, you don't need to write it down. Okay, but hamon, that's how you spell it. It's in the sandwich section, it's not underneath.
Oh, sandwich.
Okay, so you got hamon, and then we added some words, so you might want to write these down next to cerdo. So we added bacon, which is, can you remember? Starts with a T.
Togar.
Tocino. Okay, tocino is bacon, so add that word.
I love
Tocino is
bacon.
bacon. Okay, and then a lot of sausage is made out of pork. So do you remember what sausage is?
So sausage.
What?
There's salchicha,
Salchicha.
refers to like sausage as in like links, like or hot dogs. This is the word you use for hot dogs. Salchicha. Right, and then ground sausage, like you have at breakfast, is chorizo. Okay, remember these also could go into beef because there is some beef sausage too.
The chorizo is like the pattern.
It
Salchichas
can't,
are so
the
much
patty's
better
made out of
than.
that because it's that ground.
I agree with
Like
you.
that ghetto stuff.
Yeah, kind of like ghetto.
Ghetto sauce.
Salchicha.
Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Ghetto, not
Mama
ghetto.
wants
I hate ghetto. I don't know what you're saying.
Ghetto? It's disgusting.
You did say ghetto.
I said,
I don't even know
My
what
mom
it
is
is.
ghetto, so I knew what you were talking
Hey,
about.
what's
Disgusting.
ghetto? What's ghetto?
It's a type of sausage.
It's good.
It's disgusting. I
Silencio.
hate it. It makes me sick.
Back to our vocab. Okay, so we added all of our pig products. So there's our pig products. What's after cerdo?
Fish. No, lamb.
Cordero. And what's cordero? Lamb.
Lamb,
Right,
that's
and this
actually
one's
really
probably
good.
not a common staple in your
It
diet.
tastes so
Okay,
good.
but lamb chops, if you've ever had them.
Oh, you know the like the meat that goes in gyro or euros?
Yeah, that's lamb.
Okay.
I've had that. Alright, what's after cordero? Pescado. Okay, and what's pescado?
Fish.
Fish. Okay, we already learned that word. There are other words, like specific fish that we've learned.
Salmon.
Salmon, which is salmon with an accent, so you don't really need to write that one down. But tuna is
Tuna.
a tune, and that's also on your old list, so you might want to mark it on there.
I don't know where these are. Oh,
That's in the
steak
meat
meat. If we know, we have to mark them.
No.
Okay.
Alright, so those are the fishes that you have learned. Other sea creatures we have are shellfish. Shellfish. How do you say shellfish? Mariscos.
So fish.
Okay, and mar, do you remember what mar means?
Camarade.
Right, because they're like seafoods.
Wait, where?
Okay, so the word mar means sea,
That's
so
not
these
on
are
there.
your shellfish.
Oh, it is.
Mariscos, guys, listen. Mariscos can be used to include all seafood, including fish, but in general, it's just shellfish. Okay, and what are our different shellfish that we know? Camarones. What are camarones?
Shrimp.
Shrimp. Okay, you need to add a synonym for shrimp. Another word for camarones is gambas.
Gambas.
It makes me think of gumbo, yeah.